Hello, my lovely learners, and welcome to Easy Stories in English, the podcast that will take your English from okay to good and from good to great. I am Ariel Goodbody, your host for this show. Today's pre-intermediate level story is called 3 Balls of Wool. Okay, I'll just explain some words that are in today's story. Rot, R-O-T, means for food to go bad. If food rots, you should not eat it, because you will get sick. Rotten food should be thrown away. However, fermentation is really just letting something rot a bit, but doing it in a way where it's safe to eat. In Iceland, for example, they eat fermented shark meat that has rotten in the ground for several months. A fig, F-I-G, is a soft, dry fruit. Figs are purple on the outside and red on the inside, and they have many small seeds. You can grow figs pretty much everywhere now, and they taste very good. There is a certain type of insect, a wasp, that lives inside figs. Figs are often eaten on their own or used in cooking desserts. A witch, W-I-T-C-H, is an evil woman, a very bad woman who does magic. Witches go They have black cats as pets, they wear big black hats, and they fly on broomsticks. In Harry Potter, Hermione is a very successful witch. The musical Wicked, which has just been made into a film, is about witches. A wart, W-A-R-T, is a lump, a raised area of skin that grows on your face or your hands. Warts are usually harmless but ugly. In fairy tales, witches often have warts on their nose. If you cut yourself very badly, you will have a scar afterwards. S-C-A-R. Scars are marks that are left after a wound heals. For example, I had surgery on my shoulder a few years ago, and now I have a scar there. Scratch, S-C-R-A-T-C-H, is when you do this. Basically, you move your nails against something. You might scratch yourself because you are itchy. If a mosquito bites you, then you will probably scratch the place where it bit you. Or maybe you don't like someone, so you scratch them. Cats like to scratch things a lot. An itch, I-T-C-H, is an uncomfortable feeling on your skin. You can scratch an itch, although scratching an itch often makes you itch more. Woolen clothes can make you feel itchy. A dot is a small round mark. That's why we say .com, because you type a full stop, which looks like a dot. You might also have a dress with coloured dots on it, for example. When your curiosity gets the better of you, there's something you want to know, and you know you shouldn't do it, but you're simply too curious. For example, maybe a mother tells her daughter not to look in the bottom drawer of her dresser. The girl really wants to know what's inside, but she knows she shouldn't do it. Finally, her curiosity gets the better of her, and she checks and finds her Christmas presents there. Oops. When you gaze at something, G-A-Z-E, you look at it very carefully for a long time, either because you're curious, interested, amazed by it, or love it. For example, lovers often gaze lovingly into each other's eyes. Or, if you're bored, you might gaze out of the window. When you look in the mirror and see yourself, that is your reflection. Nowadays, we have mirrors everywhere, so we see our reflections often. But in the past, you had to find a river or a piece of glass to see your reflection. Okay, so listen and enjoy. 3 balls of wool. Once upon a time, there was a poor woman who lived with her husband. They had just one daughter, a beautiful baby girl called Leila. But at the same time as Leila was born, her father lost his job, and so the mother spent her days going around the neighbourhood looking for food. One day, the woman could not find food anywhere, and with no other option, she went into a rich man's garden. She was surprised, however, to find that it was very poorly looked after. Everywhere plants were dying, and the ground was covered with rotten figs. Well, she thought to herself, I am sure he will not mind me stealing a few rotten figs. But as soon as she touched one of the rotten figs, there was a loud bang, and a horrible old witch appeared before her. The witch had 3 warts on her nose and 5 scars on her chin. "A fig thief!" cried the witch. "You must pay for your crimes." "But it is only a rotten fig," said the woman. "Surely it is worth nothing." "So you think my food is worth nothing, do you?" said the witch, scratching her chin angrily. "You should learn some respect. You will give me the thing that is most valuable to you, or I'll turn you into a fig." "I have nothing," said the woman, "only a baby girl, but I will not give her to you." The witch laughed and scratched her nose. "Oh, you will. Give her to me now, and it will be much easier." But the woman could not, and she ran away as fast as she could. To her surprise, the witch did not follow her. That night she slept very deeply, and in the morning she could not tell if the witch had only been a dream. She had certainly been very hungry, and hunger made for strange dreams. 10 years passed, and things got better for the family. The husband got a job working for the king, and he often sent expensive gifts home from his travels. They moved to live in a beautiful village, and Leila grew up to be brave and happy. But one day, while Leila was playing in the grass, she saw a very strange butterfly. On one of the butterfly's wings were 3 dots, and on the other wing were 5 lines. Leila had never seen a butterfly with dots and lines on its wings, and her curiosity got the better of her. She reached out to touch it. Bang! There she was again, the horrible witch, with 3 warts on her nose and 5 scars on her chin. "I finally got you, child," said the witch, and she grabbed Leila's arm tightly and pulled her away. Leila cried and tried to escape, but the witch was too strong. The witch took her to a huge castle, and once they were inside, the witch kissed the front door, and it disappeared. "You will work for me, girl," said the witch. And when you are old enough, you will give me your body, so that I can be young and beautiful again." Leila burst into tears. "What? Don't you have anything to say for yourself?" said the witch. But the girl was too scared to speak. In just a moment, her entire world had changed. "Pah! All that beauty is wasted on a stupid girl like you." And so began 7 years of sadness for Leila. Every day she worked under the eye of the witch. As the witch scratched her warty nose, Leila washed the dirty floors. As the witch scratched her scarred chin, Leila baked fresh bread. As the witch complained about her itches, and the witch always complained about her itches, Leila dusted the house. Despite what the witch said, Leila was a clever girl, and she quickly began to watch the old woman's magic. As the years passed, she saw many tricks, but when she tried, they mostly didn't work. One thing she could do, however, was turn a chair into a table and a table into a chair. All she had to do was kiss them. But this wasn't particularly useful, so eventually Leila gave up trying to learn magic. The worst thing was that the witch insisted Leila call her mother, and in return, the witch called her my daughter. With each passing day, the witch grew more interested in Leila's beauty. She brushed her head and said how pretty she was, and Leila began to worry that soon the day would come where the witch would take her body. What would happen then? She tried not to think about it. To Leila's surprise, one day the witch woke her up early in the morning and said she was leaving. "I'm tired of this itching," she said. "I've looked it up in a book, and to stop the itching on my nose and chin, I need the nose hairs of a beautiful girl and the chin hairs of a beautiful boy. So I'm off to go find those." Apparently, she trusted Leila enough to stay at home by herself. "But there are 3 things you must not do, my daughter," said the witch. "1. You must not open the cupboard under the stairs. 2. You must not look at the mirror in my bedroom. And 3. You must not gaze out the window." "Yes, mother," said Leila, hiding her smile. The witch grunted, scratched her warts and scars one last time, and jumped out of the window. They were 2 floors up, but the witch's dress blew out like an umbrella and carried her slowly to the ground. Leila went about her work for the day. She tried to think of how to escape. When next would she get an opportunity like this? But the only way out was to jump through the window, and Leila didn't know the magic to fly down like the witch. She tried kissing the wall where the front door had been, but all she got was a cold, dirty tongue. Maybe it was too much hope to escape. She was so focused on escaping that she half forgot about the witch's warning. And when she came near the cupboard under the stairs, she grew curious. "Leila," she said to herself, "curiosity is what got you here." But that was 7 years ago, and if she did nothing, she would be here forever. Besides, the witch had never told her to not go somewhere before. Thanks for listening, and see you soon.